Instead, what we should do is we should choose only one. Huwag mamangka sa dalawang ilog. Choose one. Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for clicking on this video. This video is actually the first in my installment of my everyday grammar vlog. So, little by little in short videos, I will be talking about some grammar rules or grammar errors and how to correct them and things like that. Since, yeah, I really do miss being in the classroom and teaching these stuff. So, for this video, what I did was I went through my social media accounts and took note of the common grammatical errors that I saw, and I chose 5. So those 5 common grammatical errors from my social media accounts will be discussed now. So the first common error that I took note of is the use of the auxiliary verb did, followed by a pronoun or a noun, and the past tense or past participle of a verb. So for example, did you forgot about me? So what is erroneous in this sentence or statement? Did as an auxiliary verb is already in its past tense. Therefore, the main verb should be in its base form or in its original form, not in the past tense, not in the past participle. So we often hear people say, did you did this? Did you ate dinner? Did you left something? So those are erroneous statements because, again, did should be accompanied by a main verb in its base form. So the correct way of saying this should be, did you forget about me? So just a refresher. It's easy to spot some of the verbs that are in its past tense because most of them end with ed, just like danced, jumped, calculated. But there are what we call irregular verbs, but we will discuss that on a different video. So the second error I took note of also has something to do with an auxiliary verb. This time, it's auxiliary verb does. So does as an auxiliary verb is in the present tense, and the error I saw is that does is followed by a noun or a pronoun and followed by the main verb in its singular form. So although does is a singular auxiliary verb, it should not be accompanied by a main verb in its singular form. So you drop the s. So does, so this is what you remember. Does already has an S. So its main verb shouldn't contain an S at the end. So for example, does she says the truth. So there are too many S's in that statement. So remove the S from the main verb at the end of the main verb. So the correct way of saying that is, does she say the truth? Does Anna dance well? Does your mom know? Again, if you are using the auxiliary verb does, your main verb should be in its plural form. So to remember that, just drop the S at the end. So does already has the S, so drop the S from your main verb. So the third error has something to do with an infinitive. What is an infinitive? An infinitive is a verbal which takes the form of the word to plus verb. So to verb. So the error I saw is that the infinitive is done by using the word to plus the verb in its past tense. So for example, he plans to break her heart. The correct way of saying that is supposed to be, he plans to break her heart, because an infinitive is formed using the word to plus the base form of the verb. So he plans to break her heart. One of my dreams is to live in Europe. So you don't say one of my dreams is to live in Europe. Or you don't say I want to sold baked goods. So you say I want to sell baked goods. So the fourth error we will be discussing in this video has something to do with modal auxiliary verbs. And those modals are will and going to, or gonna if it's an informal setting. So what people usually do, which is erroneous, is they use or we use both modals at the same time. For example, we say, today we will gonna talk about. So in that statement, you use both will and gonna. Instead, what we should do is we should choose only one. Huwag mamangka sa dalawang ilog. Choose only one, okay? So choose either to use will or to use going to or gonna. You're supposed to just simply say, today we will talk about, or today we are going to talk about. Choose only one. Both are correct, but when used together, they become erroneous. And the last error I spot, which we will be talking about in this video, has something to do with articles. A or an. So these are articles we've learned practically from preschool, but these are also articles which we misused because of the noun that we pair them with. So the articles a or an are singular articles, meaning they refer or introduce only singular nouns. So for example, an erroneous statement would be, I watched a movies yesterday. So a is singular, but you pair it with a noun that is in plural form. Make sure that if you are using the article a or an, you are introducing a singular noun. So you are supposed to say, I watched a movie yesterday. So some people would say, I saw a children playing outside. So a is singular, children is plural. It's plural, so it doesn't match. So you have to make them match. Singular article, singular noun. If your noun is really supposed to be plural, you should drop the articles. Okay? You should drop the a or the an. You can just say, I watched movies yesterday. So again, a or an is used with singular nouns. So just a review, a is used if the noun you are introducing starts with a consonant. An is used if the noun that follows it starts with a vowel. So those are the grammatical errors I spot and took note of from my social media accounts. I hope that you learned something. If you did, and if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and do share the video. Thank you for watching.